3, 2, 1, speed! So have you guys ever had a poem that was like 70% done and you're like really liking it, and then you're like, okay, I gotta get ready for this poetry slam. Like, okay, I memorized this awesome poem, and then this idea came to me, and then I finished off the other 30%. So I apologize in advance. It's gonna be read off the page, but I assure you, I think it's worth it.
Let's go.
I've done photography, theater, and even an 11-person spoken word piece, but through all my artistic endeavors, I could never quite capture the feeling. I was going through the motions, constantly hiding behind the mechanics of how to project my voice or how to snap a picture. I began my venture into spoken word the same way, preserving myself, never truly embracing the vulnerability. I wrote a couple deep pieces, but could never honor their sentiment. I never allowed myself to connect, because sadly, I never believed I was an artist. I challenged myself to write a poem a week last summer, hoping that a glimmer of a sunbeam would hit my third eye. It was halfway through this season that a man I love and respect told me that my writing was great, but success would only come when I committed to the poetry. This advice hit home harder than a wrecking ball, because I realized in that moment that I was disassociating from my utterances. I was speaking truths as if they were not my own. I have long struggled with a sense of identity, always a little too sensitive and emotional than what is expected of a man. I have always shied away from unveiling the vulnerable versions of myself in private. Ironically, I have admitted more to audiences in this public forum than to people in my life, and I realize it's largely due to my insecurities. The battle between sensitivity and strength causes a dichotomy within my psyche, having me constantly doubting myself. I took that man's advice one day, and the moment after exposing myself on stage, I realized I couldn't call myself a purveyor of this craft unless I opened up to the world and said, look at all my imperfections. And my 2020 rearview mirror, I think I have begun to understand the artist's struggle. It's not just going through the motions, but emotionally allowing yourself to be a canvas. You just have to let every piece become the mosaic depicting your life and be willing to bare your soul. Tonight, you will hear many truths from many poets revealing to you their philosopher's stone and hope that their words will gain eternal life within you. But here's my truth. I have long struggled with confidence issues, but I am here as proof that through all your insecurities, if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, only then can you call yourself a poet. Thank you.
Yeah.